feels like a constant struggle to hold everything together. We plan, we calculate, we try to stay one step ahead, believing that if we control every detail, we can avoid pain, failure, or disappointment. But the truth is, control is only an illusion. The more tightly we hold on, the more life resists. Like water slipping through our fingers, the harder we grasp, the more we lose. Real peace begins the moment we stop trying to force life into a shape it was never meant to take. In this video, we'll explore the freedom that comes when we let go and allow life to flow like water, a path inspired not by fear, but by trust, not by control, but by presence. In today's world, the pressure to control everything is constant. We're taught to chase goals, predict outcomes, and always be in charge. We want certainty in our careers, stability in our relationships, and guarantees for the future. But life doesn't operate on our terms. A single phone call, a sudden shift, or a moment of chaos can change everything. And when we base our happiness on things going exactly as planned, even small detours can leave us feeling lost or defeated. From a Buddhist perspective, this desire for control is deeply rooted in attachment, the mental habit of clinging to specific outcomes, rigid expectations, and fixed identities. We attach ourselves to the belief that things must go a certain way, and when reality unfolds differently, we suffer. The Buddha once said, "Attachment is the root of suffering." When we become obsessed with how things should be, we blind ourselves to the wisdom and growth found in how things are. Our efforts to control everything become a form of resistance. Resisting change, resisting uncertainty, resisting the unknown. But the truth is, life has never been under our full control. It moves with its own rhythm, its own current. And the more we try to dominate that current, the more we feel overwhelmed, anxious, and disconnected. Imagine you're standing in a flowing river, holding your hands tightly together, trying to grasp the water. No matter how hard you try, the water slips through your fingers. You can't hold it. Now, imagine opening your palms, relaxing your body, and simply letting the water pass through. You're still in the river, but this time, you're in harmony with it. You're no longer resisting the natural flow. This is what letting go truly means. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you stop trying. It means you stop fighting. You stop forcing. You allow life to unfold, knowing that not everything needs your control to turn out well. Sometimes what we call losing control is actually being set free. In Taoist philosophy, there's a concept called wu wei, which means effortless action or non-forcing. It speaks to a life lived in harmony with the natural order, rather than in constant resistance to it. This wisdom also appears in Buddhist thought, where non-attachment and mindful presence are central to inner peace. Letting go doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means taking action when it's needed, but without the desperation to force an outcome. It means trusting that when you do your part with sincerity and clarity, life will respond in its own way, in its own time. Often, the very things we try to control the most, relationships, success, health, are the ones that require the most trust and patience. By letting go of control, we create space for flow, and in that flow, something softer and wiser can emerge. There's a story that reflects this beautifully. A man once fell into a fast-moving river during a storm. Instead of panicking or flailing against the current, he surrendered. He allowed the river to carry him, conserving his energy, staying calm, and letting the water do what it does. Eventually, the current led him to the riverbank, where he was able to climb to safety. When people asked him how he survived, he simply said, I didn't resist the river, I became part of it. This is a profound metaphor for life. When we resist the flow, we exhaust ourselves. But when we soften, when we yield, we discover a surprising strength, not in control, but in trust. So, how do we begin to release this illusion of control and flow with life more freely? The first step is mindfulness. Mindfulness allows us to return to the present moment instead of being trapped in fears about the future or regrets about the past. When plans fall apart or life doesn't go as expected, instead of reacting with panic or anger, we pause, we breathe, we observe. We give ourselves the space to respond rather than react. This small shift changes everything. It gives us a moment to ask, can I accept this moment as it is, just for now? Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. The second step is acceptance, a quiet strength that's often misunderstood. Acceptance isn't giving up. It's the courageous act of facing reality without denial, without bitterness. It's acknowledging what is, even when it's painful, and meeting it with compassion. The Buddha taught that pain is inevitable in life, but suffering, the mental anguish we add on top of pain, is optional. And most suffering comes from our resistance to what we cannot change. When we stop fighting what is, we reclaim our inner peace. The third step is flexibility. Flexibility is not weakness. It is the ability to adapt without breaking, to bend without giving in to despair. Like bamboo swaying in the wind, we stay rooted in our values, but flexible in how we respond. Instead of saying, this should not be happening, we learn to ask, how can I move with this? We stop clinging to a fixed idea of how life must go, and open ourselves to the possibility that this moment, even if it's not what we wanted, might still hold something valuable. In everyday life, this mindset is powerful. We become less reactive in our relationships, allowing others to be who they are instead of trying to control them. We become more resilient at work, doing our best but releasing the need for perfection. We learn to live with uncertainty, not with fear, but with curiosity. We stop needing all the answers before we can feel peace, because we've learned that peace comes not from control, but from surrender. Letting go is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice, a gradual softening. Some days it will feel easy, other days nearly impossible. But each time we choose to release, even just a little bit, we become lighter, more open, more in tune with the quiet wisdom of life itself. We begin to see that letting go isn't about loss, it's about trust. Trusting that life, in all its unpredictability, still knows the way. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by chaos, the next time something doesn't go your way, gently remind yourself, you are not here to control the river. You are here to flow with it, to move with presence, with grace, and with the quiet confidence that life is unfolding as it must. If this message spoke to your heart, and you're walking your own path toward peace and inner strength, consider subscribing to this channel. Here, we share wisdom that nourishes the spirit, step by step, breath by breath. Until next